This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Now, what is consignment procurement? How to handle the consignment procurement? We'll see in today's session. Okay. So the consignment procurement is special procurement. The consignment procurement is a special procurement. So in this process, generally we'll procure the materials. So at the time of procurement, at the time of goods receipt, we will not pay to the vendor. Okay. So once we will receive the stock, and we'll keep the stock in our premises as per our internal consumption. So how much stock we required, for that withdrawal quantity only we need to pay to the vendor. So the consignment is a special procurement. Now what we observed in standard procurement process or basic cycle. So once you receive the material, okay. So what are the materials we received? So for that received quantity, as per vendor invoice, we need to pay to the vendor. But in consignment, so we'll receive the material. So we'll keep the stock in our premises. So how much stock we received? So immediately we are not paying. So in future, whenever we require, so just we need to withdraw from the consignment stores. So how much quantity we withdrawing from the consignment stores? For that withdrawal quantity only we need to pay to the vendor. So to perform this consignment procurement, let us see, to perform standard procurement, purchase info record is optional. But if I want to perform the consignment procurement, the purchase info record, this master data is mandatory. So we observed, without purchase info record, we are not able to perform this consignment procurement. So this is the prerequisite. Okay. So we'll go step by step. First, we'll create one material, and we'll create one vendor, and also we'll create purchase info record. In fact, the purchase info record is mandatory. So why purchase info record is mandatory? Most of the ask this question. Without purchase info record, why we are not able to consignment procurement means. So in consignment procurement, whenever you are creating PO, the system is not allowing to enter the price here. The net price will be grayed out here. The net price will be grayed out, and system is not allowing to enter the price at the time of PO. That's what freely we are creating purchase info record. In this purchase info record, so we are entering the price. So how much price we need to, okay, so the vendor will inform us, okay, so what is the price they are offering. So the price you need to enter, and tax code you need to enter, and validity periods also we need to enter. So from which date to which date here. In consignment procurement, so the vendor will give you some validity period. So I am giving without taking any liabilities initially. So it is for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months or 1 month, whatever the date here, the duration he will mention us. So here, suppose now let us see, we received some 1,000 pieces from the vendor. The vendor has given some 6 months time. So within these 6 months, so whatever the stock we received, our internal consumption purpose, so we withdrawn. So how much withdrawn quantity we are paying. So end of the 6 months, the vendor will recall you. So if any stock is left out, okay, well and good. So means within that validity period, you can consume the complete stock. So suppose now in some cases, in few cases, if you are not able to consume the complete stock, if any stock is left out, the left out stock you can return to the vendor. Means the users, actually what the user will think here. So in future also you don't require this material, then you can return the stock to the vendor here. Or else suppose in future you require the same material, you can change the ownership also. So everything is possible in consignment procurement. All these three variations I'll show to you. So step by step here, what are the steps I need to perform? Steps here. Okay, so the steps, if you go to steps here, so the steps, the first step here, create a material. Okay, so let us see with any material type, you can create with any material type. Let me go to the log on type. So go to log on. So enter user ID and password here. So step one, create a material MM01. So industry sector, create with any material type. Example, some raw material. Okay. So enter, and it's basic MMVs here. So enter the plant and show location. You know how to create a material. So 1602. Enter some test material. Okay. So for the consignment procurement. So enter the base unit of measure, some BC and some material group. So enter some purchase group here. Enter the valuation class. Enter some price here. Okay, so here. Okay, so material 1602 here. So what is the material you created? 1602. So step 1, create a material, and step 2, create a vendor. So you know how to create a vendor here. Step 2. So in this case, so you need to write down step by step. So why we are preparing the master data? Because so in real time already master data is available, as I told you. So if you are preparing instant master data, then easily you can able to understand it. Okay. Step 2, create a vendor. So this already you know how to create a vendor. Step 3, create purchase info record. Create purchase info record. So here which vendor here 1000 vendor is offering. So enter the material, purchasing organization, plant, and here you can select your info category as a so you can write down note. The purchase info record is mandatory, and also info category you must select the consignment here. So this is mandatory. So if you are selecting any other info category, it is not actually okay. So properly. So you must select the info category as consignment here. It's a material vendor combination. In purchase info record itself, we will mention the price here. So enter the plant delivery time. So some mandatory fields we need to fill. So what is the price the vendor is offering? 100 euros per one piece. And tax code also you need to mention here. So you don't forget to enter the tax code also. So if you are not into the tax code, the invoice receipt will not be created. Even that is the 0% tax also you need to mention here. Okay. So now the tax codes will be prepared by the finance people. Let us say I'm taking 10% of tax here. The price you need to enter. Now you go to the condition tab. The vendor will give some time, right? So how much time here? So from today day to up to 31st December 2022. So this is the price example. So when you are procuring this material from this vendor, so on behalf of this purchase organization in this plant, consignment procurement, 100 euros per one piece from this date to this date. So this is one agreement. Okay. So condition here. Now please observe, if it is a normal purchase info record, the purchase info record number, and in 1000 plant, in 1000 purchase organization. The consignment purchase info record is depend with K. The consignment procurement, what exactly depend with K here? K means consignment. So till now, this everything is clear. We created a material, and we created a vendor, and we created a purchase info record. Okay, so these are the master data is enough here. Now let us see what is the initial purchasing document. So this already you know. So next step you can write down create a purchase requisition. Create a purchase requisition. So now, so actually what we are discussing consignment procurement, right? So what is consignment? The consignment is a special procurement. So in this process, so however you need to give the order. So in standard procurement or consignment procurement, definitely you need to give a purchase order. So before the purchase order, the user can able to create a purchase requisition, right? So every company purchase requisition is mandatory. You need to mention which material I required 1602. So how much quantity I required? 100 quantity for which plant here? So 1000 plant and so triple zone store location. 1000 plant, triple zone store. So enter the material. Okay, so quantity for which plant and which store location. Okay, so this actually, so we need to enter the material, quantity for which plant and which store location. Enter all these details. But please observe, if I have not selected item category and account assignment categories, we discussed here. Item category represents for way of procurement and account assignment category consumption here. But actually, if I have not selected anything means blank means standard procurement here. If I have not selected anything means standard procurement here. Okay. So if I come to here, so here I am procuring consignment process. So item category K I need to select. When I selected item category K, so automatically your valuation tab and account assignment tab will be disappear automatically. So why valuation tab, account assignment tab is disappearing? So initially we are not paying anything to the vendor. So that's what valuation tab will be disappear. And why account assignment tab be disappearing? You know. So if the materials actually we are receiving, but the stock is in our premises, but ownership of the material is still vendor. So we are receiving the stock, we are keeping in my store. Okay, so the vendor is keeping, but who is the ownership? The ownership of the material is still vendor. So there are so many retail industries, so many industries they are using this consumption procurement. Okay, so simply if I select the item category K, select item category K, so automatically these two tabs will be disappear. So if I entered item category K, account assignment tab and valuation tab will be here. You need to click on select. So I created a purchase requisition. What is my purchase requisition number? 100136663. 100136663. So copy the purchase requisition number here. 100136663. So all the purchase requisition details will be stored in, okay, so in EBON table. So we observed EBON table, EKKO and EKPO. So once the purchase requisition will created, this purchase requisition will go to the purchasing department. Okay, those people will decide from which vendor I need to procure. Okay, so here if you already vendor, so any consignment vendor directly they will create a PO, or else already you know the first process. So they will give you request for quotation to the different vendors. Okay, so once the vendors will receive the quotation, so we'll receive quotations from all the vendors, and which vendor is giving the least price will the best quotation. Okay, so now let us see, means you can write a note here. Consignment procurement also you can finalize the quotation, or if you know the vendor directly can create PO. That already you know the process. So straight away what I'm doing, I'm creating PO here, ME21. So you can write a note. When consignment procurement, if you don't know the vendor, you can go to the quotation process like RFQ. If you know the vendor directly, you can create a PO. So this process already be covered in standard procurement. So what I am doing, straight away I am creating a PO here. Create a PO in ME21. So enter the purchase requisition number here. Simply enter the purchase requisition. Enter the purchasing organization. Enter the vendor here. So please observe in purchase requisition also, in purchase order also, you will find item category K, okay, it represents. Net price will be greater here. So why in most of the industries they will ask this question here. So why we are creating purchase info record for consignment procurement? This is the reason. So whenever you are creating PO, so the system is not allowing to enter the price. There is no condition and account assessment tabs here. If I remove this item category K, example, if I remove this item category K, so if I'm making blanket, so automatically net price will be enable mode, and you will find the condition and account assessment level. This is a standard procurement here. But when I enter the item category K, so automatically this reference for consignment procurement. So there is no condition tab, and the net price will be graded here. So the system is not allowing to enter the price. Because of this reason, so already we created purchase info record here. Okay, so simply you need to click on save. Okay, so we have given the order. So we have given the order to the vendor here. So this order will go to the vendor. Okay, so please observe the PO number. So this is my PO number 4500172214. So copy the PO number. So you know the PO is the external purchase document. So yesterday means last session we discussed how to procure the materials through the standard procurement process. Okay. Now today we are creating PO for consignment procurement, but whenever vendor is dispatched, we need to enter the goods receipt here. Go to Migo. In Migo, so goods receipt purchase order here. Okay. So go to goods receipt purchase order. The purchase order number here. Item, okay. The material, the quantity, inventory type, plant and store location, purchase data, partner, everything. Okay. So here one thing you need to understand the difference. Okay, material, okay, we received. Quantity, how much we received? 100 quantity. In inventory type you can observe. Okay, what you need to observe in inventory type. So previously for normal material, goods receipt against the standard purchase order, we observe the movement type only 101. But today, what is the movement type we are observing? 101K. What exactly this K reference? K reference for the consignment here. K reference for the consignment. Okay. So this material is a special stock here. Okay. So we are receiving. So but movement type for normal stock, the movement type is 101. For consignment stock, the movement type is 101K. The K reference for the stock category, which plant, which. So this is what you need to understand. First data, partner, which vendor here. Simply click on check. Okay, the posting only possible in periods 2022-9 and 2022-10. Okay, so okay, so this actually, so now once the month is completed, today is 3rd October. Okay, maybe yesterday and day for yesterday we have not posted. Okay, so because of this holidays, that means we can. Okay, so now on first, so here month, these are called month-end activities. So this is a month-end activity. So we need to close the current month period, and we need to open the next month period here. Okay, so next month period we need to open, but actually this is the only one activity for so other okay, so this is only one thing activity for people. This is close and open the periods here. Okay, but if you come to finance people, there are a lot of procedures will be there. There are 11 to 12 procedures will be there. So once the month is completed, they need to close the financial related documents and all. So these month end activities. So generally we need to go to MMPV. In MMPV transition code, so enter the from company code to company in your system also. Just you go to from company to company code. So now what is the period here? So 10th, right? 10th year. Okay. 2022 year. So here now, so now this is October. So we closed September. We closed and we opened October month. Now you go to where exactly it impacted here. Once you go to MMPV, so here go to OMSY. This will be updated in 1000 company code. So now this is the current month. Previously 9th month was there. Now this is the current month here. Okay. So this is what we need to understand. OMSY will be updated. So what is the transition code to close and open the periods? MMPV. So close the period for the metal master records. Okay. Now you are eligible. You can able to. So you can able to perform the goods receipt now. Go to Migo. In Migo, enter the goods receipt purchase, enter the purchase number. Okay. Now please come to here. So item okay. Material quantity where we can observe purchase data partner which vendor is. So click on check and the document is okay. You need to post this one. So once the material document is posted, so once you posted the material document, so now what are the changes that we need to observe? Okay, so we'll observe one by one. This is most important. Once I posted the material document, simply go to MMBE. If I go to MMBE, this material I received for which plant and which location, 1000 plant, 1000 location I received. And if you click on execute here, okay, so this material in the plant and store location. So I received this material plant and store location. So what is the stock here? Vendor consignment stock here. The stock is vendor consignment stock here. So means previously if it is normal stock, it is updated and it is updating our plant and store location only. So this stock is also updating on our plant and store location only, but in system it is showing vendor consignment stock here. Why it is showing vendor consignment stock? Stock exactly where in our store location only, but it's showing separate line item vendor consignment. So now tell me what is the reason? Because we received the stock, user is going to keep in our store location, but we are not ownership of this material. Then who else the owner? So the owner is still vendor. We received simply without paying anything. We received the stock based on your order. Vendor is dispatched here, but ownership of the material is still vendor here. Okay. Now please go and observe the stock. Okay, stock only we observe. So this is you need to observe. And next, if I go to okay, so MIGO or MD03, you can see that. So from MIGO also you can go to the display of the material document. So if I see the material document display, go to doc information. If I see this finance document, the accounting documents will be generated for standard procurement. For consignment procurement, there is no accounting document. So why there is no accounting document for the consignment procurement? Because in consignment procurement, so we are not paying initially to the vendor. So that's what for this document there is no accounting document. So for this document there is no accounting document. Okay. So for whatever the document we received here. Okay. So whenever we are receiving this, the material document is going to post here. But again, if this material document there is no accounting document, most of the industry ask this question here. Okay. So for financial, so financial document will not be updated at the time of goods receipt here. With what moment we received 101K here. Okay. Next, this is one procedure here. We received the stock here. But actually, what we discussed consignment procurement. The consignment procurement once you received. So whenever you require this material, we need to consume. When we require this material, we need to consume. Okay. So for next 2 months or 3 months, so how much stock is required, we need to consume. Internal consumptions we need to do here. So when you are doing how much we withdrawn, so how much we utilize the stock, for that withdrawal quantity only we need to pay to the vendor. Now I'll show you the next step here. So next 2 months or 3 months we need to consume. Let us show you today itself here. I will consume some quantity of stock here. So next step you need to write down. So after the PO goods issue, next step. So enter the goods issue against the cost center here. Enter the goods issue. Enter the goods issue against the cost center in NB1A or MHGO here. So enter the goods issue against the cost center in NB1A or MHGO here. So go to MB1A. Okay, so what is the transaction code I need to go to? MB1A or MHGO. Go simply go to MB1A. So enter the movement type 201 plant and store location. Enter the movement type 201 plant as well as store location. But 201, if you enter 201 is a normal stock here. But it's not a normal stock, right? It is a consignment stock. Normal stock movement type 201. But it's a consignment stock. I need to enter the movement type 201K. I need to enter the movement type 201K. For normal stock, if you are issuing, always keep in your mind. If I'm issuing normal stock, the movement type is 201. If I'm issuing consignment stock, 201K, and don't forget to enter 201K special stock indicator. Okay, enter the plan from which store location, triple store location. Click on enter. So which cost center we are issuing? So who is going to prepare the cost centers? So the cost centers will be prepared by the finance people here. The cost centers is going to prepare by the finance people. Okay. So now which cost center we are issuing? So let us say 1000 cost center we are issuing. So I have so many consignment vendors. Which vendor stock I need to mention, right? So which vendor stock I also need to mention. So which stock, like which material you are issuing 1602. So how much you are issuing? So I'm issuing some. Okay, so 30 pieces example. I'm issuing 30 pieces here. Okay, so give me a second. Okay, so 30 pieces I'm issuing, and simply you need to click on save. Okay, so I issued the stock. When I issued the stock, first the system is going to generate another material document. First, you go and observe the stock value. You go and observe the stock value. If I refresh stock immediately debited from the vendor consignment stock. The stock was 100 pieces, but now what is the stock here? We have only 70 pieces. Remaining 30 pieces we issued to cost center consumed here. So stock is updated. Okay, well and good. So like this. So how many number of, okay, so here whenever we require. So whenever you require, so you need to issue how much stock we issued. So just it will be recorded through the material document. So we issued the stock here. Now once we issued the stock, the material document is posted. So now let us see the latest material document. You want to see MB03. Go to MB03. So but what we observe the definition. So how much we are utilizing the vendor consignment store, for that withdrawal quantity only we need to pay to the vendor here. Okay. So now if you come to here, so go and see the material document here. So how much 30 pieces we consumed here. Do not okay. Go to accounting documents. If you click on this accounting document. Okay, so 3,000 rupees I need to pay to the vendor here. The system reliant material document, accounting document will be generated, but I should create invoice here. So where I need to create invoice? For all the procurement process we discussed MIRO, how to create the invoice. For consignment and pipeline procurement process, we need to create the invoice in MRKO. This consignment and pipeline procurement, where I need to create the invoice? In MRKO transition code here. 51 all zeros, so 220 here. Okay. So 51 all zeros, 220. Let me copy the material. So next step here, create the invoice in MRKO. MRKO is specially designed for a consignment pipeline. Most of the time, this consignment procurement process and pipeline procurement, so every month we are going to clear, not regularly. So I go to just MRKO, enter your material document number, you simply need to click on execute here. So first we'll see in consignment here, first we'll see in display module. Simply execute here. Now here you can observe so which stock, so how much you withdrawn, okay, so which vendor stock it is, on which date, so how much quantity, which material, so how much I need to pay. The final information is not settled here. Everything you can clear. Every 15 days or every 1 month you can consolidate, you can pay to the vendor here. Simply go back and you click on settle button is there, click on settle, click on execute. So automatically the document will be created, the information document will be created. If I see this document, so who is created, the system will create automatically accounting document. Now if you open this document number, I can able to see. So, but how much I need to pay? 3,000. But why 300 rupees extra? Because you are selecting 10% of input tax here. So I am paying the tax along with my material. I need to pay the tax, right? The material cost is 3,000. So 10% means 300 euros. Total 3,300 euros. Sorry, the material cost is 3,000 and tax is 300. So total 3,300 euros. I need to pay to the vendor here. To which vendor here? Berlin vendor I need to pay. Along with your material, your tax also you need to pay to the vendor. So this is a simple process here. Okay. So what we observed, the consignment procurement is special procurement. So in this process, we are receiving the material and immediately we are not paying. So how much we received? So for that withdrawal quantity only, so we need to pay to the vendor here. So now for this actually the business. So at the time of we'll discuss with the vendor. Okay. So how much time is going to give us here? Whether 2 months or 6 months or 3 months or 4 months, whatever the time. So within that particular time, so whenever you are issuing the stock from the consignment stores, okay. So for the withdrawal quantity only you need to pay to the vendor. But still in consignment procurement in real time, sometimes very rarely, if any stock is left out, we can return the stock or we can own the stock. That also will observe here. Okay, this is a regular process here. But in rare cases, sometimes we left out the stock, the vendor will recall. So what you will do? Whether you want to change the ownership, you want to buy the stock, or you can return the stock also here. This both are possible here. Now first I will show you so how to return the stock here. Okay, so like here there are so many examples for consignment. Every industry they are using this consignment. Okay, so now if I want to return the stock, where I need to go? I need to go to the Migo. In Migo, I need to select the return delivery here. So I need to select the return delivery. So why I'm returning? Suppose now assume that I received 100 pieces, completely I consumed here. Okay, now 6 months is over. So some 20 pieces, whatever some stock is left out here. So this stock I want to return. But here, unfortunately, I've shown you only one transaction per issue. But in real time, whenever we are issuing, the stock is going to decrease here. So for the withdrawal quantity, we will pay to the vendor in MRK. So now the 70 pieces, what I will do, 50 pieces I will return here. Okay, so as per this year, 50 pieces I will return. For return, I no need to pay anything to the vendor because I am giving the vendor consignment stock to vendor only. So I no need to pay here. So this 50 pieces, if I want to return, so where I need to go? I need to go to MIGO. I need to select the return delivery. Return delivery with reference to material document. But actually not this material document. So this is most important. Most of the people will do confuse here. Okay. So which material document I need to use? There are so many material documents here. Okay. So now simply go to your PO here, ME23N, the latest PO. Through which goods receipt we received, through which material document. So this is the latest PO, right? So if you go to purchase history, you will see this is the material document number we need to use. So through this material document only you received, right? 101K. So the initial document, through which document we received, we need to select here. 51001110. This is the material document we received here. So when you are consuming it, there are a number of material documents, but you need to use this material document. Or else go to latest PO, or simply you can go to MB51 also. MB51 material document list here. So if you enter here 1602 material, so this is the way also you can find the material document list here. Through which material document you received 100 pieces, through this the material document here. But I consumed only one time here. But in real time, number of times we consume. So the initial document you need to use here. Okay. Now out of 70 pieces, I will return 50 pieces. Go to Migo, return delivery. Now you need to enter the material document number. You need to click on execute here. So when I am going to return, please observe till now what is the movement types you observe. 101K to goods receipt, 201K for consumption. For return delivery material, so how much I am going to return? 50 pieces. Out of 70, I am going to return 50 pieces. Okay. So where tab you can observe 122K. What is this K? K means stock category. But movement type you need to observe. 101K is receipt, 201K consumption, return is 122. Okay, you are returning to the vendor only here. But reason for the movement you need to write here. Okay, why you are returning, you need to enter the reason for the movement, purchase data, and partner which vendor, through which vendor we received, the same vendor I am returning. If you click on check, the system will ask the movement, enter for it. So why you are returning here? Any one reason, as per our business in customization class, I will show you how to record the reasons. Simply go for the reason for the movement. Okay, select here. So here for poor quality or incomplete quality or damaged anything you can write here. So the material is damaged, I am writing. Now click on check. Now you need to post here. So once I written, the material document is generated here. Please go and observe the stock overview. So how much stock will be left out here? If I refresh, the stock will be left out of only 20 pieces here. The stock will be left out only 20 pieces here. So these 20 pieces, okay. So now total altogether 20 pieces is there. Just I am showing both here. Okay. So this stock is left out 20 pieces. So for these 20 pieces, so what I will do? Okay. So now I want to change the ownership here. I want to change the ownership here. So how to change the ownership here? How to change the ownership here? So means I want, so in real time, suppose if any stock is left out here, so what the user will do, I want this material in future. Why should I create again to the consignment vendor, consignment stock and all? Let us, I'll change the ownership. So I want to buy this stock. So next step you need to write on. So enter the transfer postings from vendor consignment to own stock. Enter the transfer postings. Next step, enter the transfer postings from vendor consignment to own stock. So what is the transition code? You can use MB1B or MIGO. So if you want to change the ownership, you need to enter the 411K movement type. 411K movement type you need to enter. So enter the transfer postings from vendor consignment to our own stock. So enter consignment to vendor consignment to own stock. Go to MB1B. Enter the movement type 411K. For which plan and which location, which vendor stock it is? 1000 vendor stock here. 1000 vendor stock. So which material here? 1602 material. The quantity, so total 20 quantity, right? Now click on 20 and into click on server. Now what happened? The material document is generated. Now please go and observe the stock overview. If I refresh the stock overview, so now if you click on save, so now this went, now we change the ownership, right? So if refresh, what happened? The stock will be added. Now this is your validity stock. So because we change the ownership here, the validity is changed. So now we are the ownership of this material. But when you are going to change the ownership, the system is going to generate the material document. So this material document, okay, relevant actually again the same way you need to go to okay MRKO because we, so whenever you change the ownership, previously the ownership of the material is vendor, but you buy the stock here. Okay, you change the ownership here with 411K. With reference to this material document, you need to prepare the invoice and based on this invoice document, accounting document, you need to pay to the vendor. So where I need to go? Again, I need to go to MRKO. Once again, I will show you. Simply go to MRKO. So enter the material document number. So what is the material document number? 21, right? So first decide this. Observe 20 pieces. Now this time 2,000 euros I need to pay to the vendor here. Okay, because we change the ownership here. Simply go back and click on settle. If you click on, so automatically the accounting document will be generated, invoice document here. So simply click on this here. So how much I need to pay? 2,200 euros I need to pay. The material cost is 2,000. My 10% of input tax. This is the tax. How much tax? 10%. 200 euros. So material is 2,000. So total 2,000 euros. 2,200 euros I need to pay to the vendor here. This is about altogether consignment procurement. So once again, if you review, so the consignment procurement is special procurement. So if I want to perform the consignment procurement, so definitely, so here we required. So now how to perform this here? Create one material. Create step one. Create one material. Step two. Create one vendor. Step three. Create purchase info record. You need to write down purchase info record is mandatory. So in purchase info record, you are going to mention the price, tax codes, and validity periods here. And fourth step, you try to create a PR. So purchase requisition is the initial purchase document, but you must select the item category as K. The item category K represents for the consignment procurement. Then observe in PR and PO. So in PO, you observe net price is completely grayed out here, and you will not find account assessment tab and condition tab in purchase info record. Okay, so in purchase requisition also. So now with this, you need to create a PO, but at the time of purchase requisition in real time. If you don't know the vendor, you can go to the quotation process also. If you know the vendor, so directly can create a PO, and in PO also you observe the net price will be graded. However, finally we'll give the order by facilitating item category K. The order will go to the vendor. So whenever vendor is dispatched, we need to perform the goods receipt. But I received the goods, but immediately if you go and check the stock or MMBE, the stock is showing in stock or you the vendor consignment stock. The vendor, it is showing the vendor consignment stock. If it is showing the vendor consignment stock, okay. So why it is showing? Because we are receiving the stock, but ownership of the material, we are not ownership of the material. So who is the owner? The vendor is the owner of the material. But after receiving, so just you go and consume the stock. So once you will consume, so how much we consume, for that we need to pay to the vendor. The system is going to generate the material document as per this material document. Okay, so in MRKO, only for to create and consignment pipeline settlements, the system is going to generate the material documents with reference to this material documents. So in MRKO, once you prepare the invoice, as per the invoice, we need to pay to the vendor. But even though most of the time we'll consume the complete stock, okay. But in rare cases, if any stock is left out, I shown you how to return the stock or how to change the ownership also. This is about today's session. Okay. Rajesh Babu, Yamuna, and Yashasvi. So tomorrow we'll discuss any other working process here. Okay. Today you practice this.
Rajeshwar, I have a doubt. Yashasvi
Yeah, yeah.
here.
Tell me. Yeah, yeah.
See, when we create the PO, in that this net price is mentioned or not?
Net price actually system is not allowing to enter the price here. So when I
No,
selected
no.
item
I'm
category,
asking the print output. If
what is
if you
this?
take the
I'm not
print
getting
out of PO.
without PO.
No, I'm asking if you take the print of PO. If you
Okay.
want to send it on a mail or something, their net price is mentioned or not?
No, no. Net price will not mention in the PO also. The, so actually,
Okay.
where the PO will come? So in separate any mail you can mention, but in PO printout it will not come here. Okay. So
Okay.
now if you go to MB23, so if you go to print PO, it is not showing it. Net price is not showing it.
Hmm. Then
Okay.
how will the vendor know how much we have to pay?
So here purchase info record is there, right?
Hmm.
We need to pay to the vendor.
Yeah, we need
Need
to
to pay
pay
to
to
the
the vendor.
exactly.
Then in
Okay.
invoice,
That invoice also the vendor will give us the invoice. Okay. So here when the, in consignment procurement vendor will not give any invoice. Okay.
okay.
So initially is giving us the materials, right? Based on your PO is giving, but if we are not
Hmm.
receiving any invoice from the vendor. Okay. So
Hmm.
when you are keeping the material in our premises, so when
Hmm.
you are utilizing how much stock you are utilizing, so in
Hmm.
MR, so we need to issue. Once you are issuing material document is generated, we are giving
Hmm.
the information. So we use 10 pieces. Then we are creating
Hmm.
invoice. That invoice will go to the vendor. So in this,
Okay.
who is preparing the document? We are preparing the document and we are informed to the vendor.
Okay.
So based on that invoice, we are going to pay you.
Okay. So everything is in our control only.
Yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Everything is in our control only. So that's what the SAP is specially designed for MRKO. So here itself will settle the. So this actually here message tab will be there. So the message will give the invoice either the whatever the medium, whether it is a printout or
Hmm.
fax. So we are giving the information to the vendor how much we consume. So now today we consume 20 pieces. For these 20 pieces, you
Hmm.
need to pay to the vendor. In simple
Okay.
example, like in retail industry, suppose now the vendor is dispatching some 100 bread packets to you. Okay. So
Hmm.
next day you will come. So you consume 10 bread packets. For the 10 pieces
Hmm.
only you will pay to the vendor. It's a simple phenomenon. So this is the same way it will be. So end of the
Okay.
like after 5 days, if any stock is left out, we can return. We are not paying to the vendor. So the stock is in our premises. So how much you consume, that much only you need to pay to the vendor.
Okay. But the vendor also knows the price of the material, right?
Yes, yes, exactly. So that's what here we'll discuss, and we are going to keep the. That's what we are creating an info record here. Info record, why it is
Only
mandatory?
internally we know the prices. He knows,
Yes,
we
yes,
know, but there won't be any mentioning on PO or invoice, right?
yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's what we are preparing the document as a purchase info record. We are preparing that purpose only. For standard procurement,
Hmm.
we are not preparing any. But in consumer procurement, we are preparing the info
Okay.
record. In that info record only, you are going to mention the price, tax codes, even though validity periods also.
Okay. Yeah, and
Okay.
this validity period, If we
Okay.
want to mention it as
Extend.
2023, can we do it? Can we extend that to next year
Yes,
also?
yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Go to ME12. Now, this
Mm,
is the latest info record we created. Okay.
mm,
1602. I want to extend easily, you can able to extend. Now, I want to extend, go to choose the from 2022, I want to extend to 2023. You can able to extend.
okay. The same thing will be continued till 2023. The price,
Yes,
everything.
yes, yes. So in between, you want to change the price also, you can able to change.
Okay,
So
okay,
vendor asks to please change the price. After 1 month, if any price revise also, you can do it. No problem.
okay. What will be the use for the vendor if we are keeping the stock and we are paying only for the utilized stock? What is his benefit?
Uh, See here, actually, there are a lot of examples. See, sometimes what happened here. So there are like demand for the material here. The vendor itself, they will approach to. So these are the materials in there. Please keep. If you want, you can consume. The demand as per the so there is no demand for the material. The vendors are going to keep the stock in our premises here. Okay, they knows. So that's what I'm preparing here. Everything in transparent. A particular machine is not there. Example. Okay, so in hospitals, so yeah, suppose now you can see in hospital industries also one equipment is cost almost some 1.2 crores here. The hospital is not going to uh, okay offerable that much of cost here. What they will do, the other vendor, suppose I am the vendor, the vendor may be a person or a organization, so I'll buy that equipment, I'll keep in the hospital here. So whatever the services in that particular mission, I'll trace it, and the hospital management, they will pay to me. Some assets also we are using in consignment procurement here. The vendor is not able to afford, the company is not able to afford that much of cost here. This is also consignment procurement.
Okay,
So so there are a lot of examples will be there for consignment.
okay,
It is
okay.
the
Got it. Thank
agreement
you.
between the vendor and it is the agreement between the vendor and company. Okay, the vendors are ready to
Mm-hmm.
give the stock, and if they knows the vendor price and we are also know the price. Okay, so
Mm,
the end of the period, so they will give you, they will monitor. Okay, for 2 months, so stock is left out or not. So they will call to the vendor, if stock is there, how much you
mm,
withdrawn. For that withdrawn quantity, you need to pay to the vendor. Okay,
okay, okay. Yeah.
yeah. So here, Rajesh Babu and Yamuna.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for presentations. Tomorrow also we have a session. So tomorrow we'll discuss any other cooking topics. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Can you
Thank you,
share
sir.
this session by evening?
Yeah, yeah. I'll share the session in half an hour. 1 hour, I'll share the session.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.